Good evening. Wow, it really is happening. Make no mistake, the biggest transfer of all time is on. Neymar's move from Barcelona to Paris Saint-Germain is close. The Brazilian is on the verge of swapping Spain for France in a world record £198 million deal on a 5-year contract.
It has been a day of big developments, and we have been across it all day for you here on Sky Sports News. Today, we've learned that Neymar has agreed a 5-year contract with PSG worth a staggering £450 million. This was the player arriving at Barcelona's training ground this morning. He went to meet club officials to try and sort out a debate over his future. A little later, he was pictured leaving, and crucially, he drove away having told the club that he wanted to leave. Barca later confirmed that was the case as Neymar headed to the airport. Neymar and his entourage then boarded a private plane. We don't yet know where he was headed, but he is due in Paris in the next 2 days. So that is Neymar's day. Now let's run through what we know right now. Neymar has agreed a 5-year deal, which will take him to the age of 30 if he stays for the full term of his contract. Neymar decided to leave Barcelona last month during a meeting in Brazil before Barcelona's pre-season tour of the United States. He's due to be in France in the next 2 days for his medical, so the transfer can be completed before PSG's first league game at the weekend. The deal will be worth nearly £450 million, including a buyout clause, wages and bonuses. Neymar will be paid £26.8 million a year after tax. That is £515,000 every week. And the buyout clause of £198 million must be paid in its entirety. So this is how the mind-boggling fee breaks down. It is £450 million that PSG will be paying, and that counts wages and the overall fee. It is £90 million per year. That is over £246,000 a day. That is £10,274,000 per hour. £171.23 per minute. And it all works out that PSG will be paying £2.85 per second for Neymar. The Bayern Munich.
Yeah, more to that to come in a moment. So Neymar's move from Barcelona to Paris Saint-Germain edges ever closer. Now, it's a transfer Barcelona do not want to happen. It's a transfer La Liga want to stop. But if and when it does go through, Barca, as we've been explaining, will need reinforcements. According to Sky Italy, they have a list of 4 possible replacements. Borussia Dortmund's Ousmane Dembele, Juventus forward Paulo Dybala, Monaco's Kylian Mbappe, and of course, as we've been talking about, Liverpool's Philippe Coutinho. Now, Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp says Barca should not waste their energy as the player is simply not available for sale. Reports in Spain claim Barcelona will sign the Brazilian. One factor in this is Coutinho has said nothing so far. And while the silence remains, the story will no doubt continue. Coutinho was not in the squad for tonight's game against Atletico Madrid. Another story that refuses to go away despite one club's insistence that a player will not be sold is Monaco winger Thomas Lemar. Arsenal remain interested, and it's my information dialogue continues between the clubs. Monaco said last week Lemar was essential to their plans and have rejected 2 bids from Arsenal already. It's thought Arsenal may need to break their transfer record again to have any chance of getting Thomas Lemar. To the latest now on Swansea City and Gylfi Sigurdsson. Everton manager Ronald Koeman is hopeful of completing his signing. Sigurdsson was present at the club's open training session earlier on today, and so will we. These are pictures of Sigurdsson at the Liberty Stadium. He continues to wait for Everton to meet Swansea's £50 million valuation. We're told Sigurdsson will not feature in Saturday's pre-season match against Sampdoria. Boss Paul Clement wants the saga resolved soon, was asked if Sigurdsson would be a Swansea player on the opening day of the season.
Talks are ongoing between our club and another club in particular, but as we stand, he's still a Swansea City player. As far as I'm concerned and our owners are concerned, that this won't go to the end of the window. We won't allow that to happen. So the business needs to be done. Otherwise, the player needs to stay here, because we're not going to get in a situation where the player potentially goes, we've got funds available, but there's no time to do any deals, and we end up weaker. There's no way that's going to happen.
Yeah, very honest views there from the Swansea boss, Paul Clement. Staying with Everton, and what next for Ross Barkley? Still no offers for the England midfielder. We are told there is interest from Tottenham and Chelsea, but this one could go all the way to deadline day. Barkley has a year left on his contract, and Koeman says he will be sold this summer. To Manchester United's pursuit now of the Inter Milan winger Ivan Perisic. It looks increasingly likely the player will stay in Italy. We are told there has been no contact between the clubs in the last few days. Inter coach Luciano Spalletti said last week the longer it goes on, the harder he will say no. One deal, though, that does look closer to happening is Kelechi Iheanacho's switch from Manchester City to Leicester City. We're told this afternoon the striker has completed his medical and agreed personal terms on a £25 million transfer. The final paperwork needs signing off before a formal announcement. It's thought City have inserted a £50 million buyback clause into Iheanacho's contract. What about departures at Leicester City, though? Talks continue with Roma over you-know-who. Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez started against Burton last night, and Leicester will not be pushed into a sale unless their valuation is met. It's thought Roma would bid again, having had 2 offers rejected already. What now of Tom Lawrence? There have been no further bids from Derby County today. Remember, Leicester City rejected a £7 million offer from Derby only yesterday. To the latest now on the Middlesbrough defender, Ben Gibson. We are told West Brom remain in talks over a possible signing. They've had 2 bids rejected in this window. The latest was £20 million. It's thought Borough are holding out for closer to £25 million. West Brom boss Tony Pulis wouldn't be drawn on names last night, but did say he was looking to bring in 4 or 5 new players. Now, staying with Middlesbrough, and it seems they are already looking for a potential replacement for Ben Gibson. I'm told they're interested in Ingolstadt defender Marcel Tisserand. Tisserand is a Congo international. Now, a reminder of what Premier League clubs have been doing in this transfer window. Everton are the most prolific. They've signed 11 players. Huddersfield have signed 10. Manchester City are the biggest spenders. Their outlay has gone past £200 million. Tottenham remain the only club who have yet to print a shirt with a new name on it. 29 days to change just that.